Well, hello marketers. So before I jump into today's topic of Google Display Network, let me ask you something. Now, have you ever heard of this term barter? Or have you ever read about barter economy system? So if you don't know that, let me tell you a story. Now, let's say we both are born 1,000 years ago from now, and you somewhere in the village have this big amazing cow. On the other hand, I live in the same village and I have a couple of hens with me. Now the question is, how do we transfer the goods with each other? Because if we are born 1,000 years ago from now, we don't have any paper currency. We don't have money. So what we can do, I can simply come to your home with a bowl of eggs and ask you to give me some milk in return, which means we can barter the products with each other. And this bartering of products is called as barter economy system. And now, in the today's time, we have evolved from bartering to a system where we have this paper currency, or maybe we have plastic cards. And we have an aggregator in the form of a bank, in the form of a government who has allotted this paper currency to us. Now, let's jump into today's time. Let's say you have an amazing home somewhere in the city, and all you are thinking is to earn some money from this home. Now, you have two options. One, you simply rent out this home to a tenant and you start living on the road. Or maybe you have another option. You think about renting this space in a way where you stay in the home itself. Now, one fine day, you find a company named as Pepsi, and all you have done is to allow Pepsi to put a hoarding right on your property. Quite simple, and you are still living in your home. Now, let's say one bad day, you call up your friends on the dinner, and they have gone to an idea why don't they also rent out their properties to Pepsi? And let's say everyone in the city are looking for getting some hoarding of at their houses. Now, Pepsi's wanna find it interesting. Maybe they wanna put their ads at some of the properties, but then it's gonna be really difficult for Pepsi to sign up a contract with each and everyone in the city. So what Pepsi can do, they can simply find an aggregator, which means a middleman who can simply connect with all these space providers. And they can find out the right properties where Pepsi can really allot the ads. Now, all these space providers are called as the property owners. And this brings us to the dawn of publishers. So, in today's time, in the digital age, all these digital property owners are called as publishers. So, if you have a website, if you have an app, if you have an amazing game, or even if you have a YouTube channel, you are a publisher. You are a publisher because you're publishing some content regularly over the internet. And now you're always looking for advertisers like Pepsi, Coke, Nike, who can put their ads on your property, on your website. And in return, you can start earning some money from it. So if you go to any site, maybe NDTV, who is a publisher, you'll always be finding an ad running somewhere on the top. It says ads by Google, which is an aggregator, but then an ad will be running over there. You go to Ashtak, you will again be finding an ad running over there. Or maybe you go to OLX, you will again be finding a couple of ads running over there. So all these publishers are always earning some money through the advertisement, through the advertisers. Now the question is, how do they get the advertiser? Do they directly go and make a contact with the advertiser, or they always find a middleman? They always find an aggregator. And in today's time, the biggest aggregator is Google. So what Google has done, at one end, Google has advertisers, which means companies like Pepsi, Coke, or maybe Reebok or Nike. At the other end, Google has publisher, companies like NDTV, Ashtak, OLX, or any news portal. Now, Google has combined both these parties. Google has connected advertiser with publisher through two different tools. So now, if you're an advertiser, you have a tool by the name of Google Ads. Or else, if you have a publisher, you have a tool by the name of Google AdSense. And these two tools are now connecting advertisers with publishers. Quite simple. Now let's talk about today's topic, which is Google Display Network. So GDN, also stands for Google Display Network, is a group of million of websites, apps, games, and videos. And all these websites combined are the Google partners. Around 90% of the sites and apps are the part of the Google Display Network. And whenever you become a Google Display Network partner, your ads or your website can start showing the ads coming from advertisers. And that's how any ad network gets formed. Not only Google, we have multiple advertisers, we have multiple ad networks in the market. It could be Facebook Audience Network, it could be Taboola, it could be RF Content, and we really have a long list of ad networks. The job of ad network is to simply connect advertiser with publisher. Quite simple. Now, the question is, how do you join GDN? How do you become a Google publisher? So if you have a website, what you can do, you can simply sign up at Google AdSense. If you have an app or a game, you can simply sign up at AdMob. Or if not, then you can simply create a YouTube channel and you can monetize the channel. Monetizing the channel means you are becoming a Google publisher. And now when you upload some content on it, and that content also allows people to show the ad through the content, you start earning some money through it. Now let's talk about the targeting part. Because the question is, any ad that all these advertisers, which means Furlanco, or maybe this company is showing on these websites, is it happening randomly? Is anyone who is coming on the hashtag is getting the ad, or there is some mechanism through which this ad is being served to the audience, to the public? So yes, we have this mechanism, we have this targeting, we call it targetings. And now GDN is having multiple form of targetings. On the top, we have contextual targetings, which means we can simply target the ads on the content using keyword, topic, placement, or we can also directly target the audience by the demography, which means age or gender. We can simply upload the information, or we can use remarketing, affinity, or in-market audience list. So we have long list of options over here. Now, if you don't know, you can simply come into Google Ad account, go to display campaign, and then you can add the audiences from the audience tab under the audience segment. You can choose demography from here, or maybe you can go in content, you can find out the topic option, add the topic over here. You can add a list of websites in the placement option, or else you can put different keywords in the display or video keyword option. So that's how you basically set up the targetings in the GDN campaign. It also has two different ad formats. So I hope you know already that GDN is a form of campaign which is going to show the banners on different websites. But then how do you upload these banners? So you have two options. One, you create this kind of responsive display ad, which is going to take two sizes or two simple resolution of ads. And this ad is responsive, which means these two ads can serve at different resolution inventories at different sites. You don't have to think about creating multiple ad sizes. Or else you can go with the static option. If you go with the second option, the static ad option, you will always have to create ads in different resolutions. Something like this, 300 and 250, 320 and 200. So you will always have to make at least around 20-25 banners, which can be uploaded in the display campaign. And that's how we use our bidding as well, which is all about how do you use or how do you pay to Google while choosing CPA, ROS, or different form of bidding amounts. And now before I end this video, all I want from you is to go through a couple of exercises. Maybe you read about the top aggregators over the internet. I have a link over here, or you learn about the Facebook audience network, or you can simply go through the Propeller and Taboola ad networks in the market. I'll see you in the next video.